All right, guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So, I figured I would do a quick video going over, like, what's going on with these New Year's step-up summons and if you should summon on them. I do think it would be very wise to skip this shit, okay? Now, I mean, it's... when I'm telling people to skip too, like I usually try and say this, like, I don't know, if you're the world's biggest Golden Frieza fan, right? Like, there's a good opportunity to potentially get like the Golden Frieza and Gogeta unit or something like that, sure. But just hands down, the number one reason why I think that these are worth skipping, well, I guess it's kind of twofold. So I don't like the way Dokkan has done this. They have stripped away the old Dokkan Fests from all of these banners, right? So the New Year's step-up banners, the Memorial Stones, the Worldwide Download Celebration Memorial Stones, all these different ways in which players could obtain the old Dokkan Fests, Dokkan has removed them. I don't like that. Like, these banners used to have such a variety of characters that you could pull and pick up. And, I mean, now we look at it and they just limited it so much. I am just not really a fan of that. I mean, if we, like, let's just take a look at the Dokkan Fest banner, right? So, there's this LR is very elite. Top 10 overall unit in the game. Same with the Gohan, Goten, and Trunks. Both of these characters, you know, again, top 10 in the game, I would say. But, I mean, they're going to be on a lot of banners upcoming. And anniversary power creep may or may not be a thing. So, I mean, I've said many times that this year resembles 2022. At the end of 2022... I mean, I feel like the events are much more difficult than they were at the end of 2022. You know, because our teams, like, once Orange Piccolo and some of these characters came out, it was just crazy. It was crazy. Like, how good, it just felt like we were stomping shit out at the end of 2022. Like, those fights had no chance once Orange Piccolo was on the scene, right? And the Gammas and shit. It got really crazy. And then going into the start of 2023, there was not explosive power creep. Like, I remember what ended up definitely being the hardest fight in the game, the Sin Shenron fight, came out. And, like, I remember I crushed it, like, maybe once or twice. And I just didn't even really realize how difficult of a fight it was. Because I remember I started doing a couple of showcases in it when I was playing Resident Evil 4 Remake, which was a good... I don't know, month probably after the fight came out, and I was like, oh yeah, and I started pumping out showcases. That was the Sin Shenron long fight, right? But that fight wasn't like a million, like it wasn't like 50 levels above previous content stages we've had. So I would not be shocked if 11th anniversary power creep, in terms of like the events we get, it's not like, you know, just groundbreaking, earth-shaking, earth-shattering, right? Like, oh my god, huge power creep. I'm not really anticipating that to happen. I guess between me and y'all, I would say I hope it doesn't happen. I think that the super ridiculous power creep is not good for the game. It's not good for most players. Like, they feel that power creep, and they're not like, man, I'm loving Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. They are going to hate that shit. They're going to absolutely despise that huge, like, power creep, right? So, just quickly, I meant to do this even earlier in the video. January 28th, 10th anniversary LRs. Oh, wait. Oops. I'm so silly. I forgot 2024. Alright, January 28th for 9th anniversary. January 29th for 8th anniversary. January 29th for 7th anniversary. January 29th for 6th anniversary. January 30th for 5th anniversary, January 30th for 4th anniversary, and January 30th for 3rd anniversary. So, we take in all these dates. Now, let's go ahead and drop this calendar down. Yeah, I mean, I guess it could... I would say the 28th, the 29th, or the 30th is what we could anticipate. One of those 3 days. If I was like, no, you must make a guess and we're holding you to it, I'd probably say the 29th would be my expectation. The 29th is maybe when I think we would see the banners drop this year. On that Thursday right there. It seems like it would make a lot of sense. Right? And that would be the 11th anniversary characters. That is, I mean, how many days? That's what, 7, 14, 21. It's like, it's wow, we're actually, dumb. It's literally 4 weeks. It's 4 weeks. 4 weeks. 4 weeks away from craziness. I think using stones this close to it is just probably not like a super good idea. And I think you're just going to be way better served saving any potential stones that you might have, right? Looking at the rest of these characters, like Tao is solid right now, but if there's power creep, he'll fall right off a cliff. Same with STR Cell. AGL Kid Goku is interesting because he's very good, and then they switched up how content was structured, and now they might be moving content back to that type of structure. Like, AGL Kid Goku, so people are, I'm seeing the timeline talk about struggling in that Rildo fight, and I'm very confused. Like, I watched Iron Cane get brutalized by that fight. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I've gone into the fight a couple of times and I've just gotten lucky. I mean, that's certainly possible. So I might do a couple of showcases for some characters. Maybe against that Rildo fight, right? Maybe AGL Kid Goku would be one who would be pretty impressive, I think, potentially, as like one of these crazy stacking characters. Int Hit is another character who would be back in a major way. Someone who could be really effective if he's given time to spread his wings, right? Diamond Vegeta sucks right now. Tech Buhan, I mean, the second we get any type of, I think, he's already from, like, basically, essentially 2 metas ago, Tech Buhan. So, I mean, we get anything, he's gone. Same with Slug. They're both, like, viable right now. Pretty impressive, honestly, for these characters. But I would say they are viable on some of these setups, right? We can run Buhan, and we could run Lord Slug, potentially on Demonic Power. We could dick around with Buhan on Omega's team, right? Like, there's a couple of stuff we could do. And then once you get past here, I mean, Scouter Vegeta in some of the long fights a little bit, but a lot of the rest of these characters aren't really too good. And then we get a bunch of Easy A's at the bottom here. But, I mean, you know, Easy A's who are good now, but who knows what's going to happen in the future. So, my point is, I mean, I don't know. I just don't like the value of dropping stones for these characters. Maybe the Carnival characters seem to be pretty, like, hard to predict when Carnival characters will return. So, I mean, that's definitely something to consider. But I look at these, and it's like, if you're trying to get, like, missions done, I don't know that a lot of these characters on these banners are going to be like, oh, damn, thank God I summoned on the Carnival step-up banner, and I got Kale and Caulifla, right? Like, I don't think, like, it's like, oh, I pulled Kale and Caulifla, now I'm ready to dominate, you know, like, one of these missions. Like, I don't know that that's really going to be a thing, really. So I would say, you know, try and avoid these. Now, if we get over to here, keep in mind that on the 4th and 5th steps for the banners, right, you do get a ticket. Now, they are little tricky devils here, because you get a ticket for each step, the 4th and the 5th step. But in order to purchase a character, you do need to use both tickets. So you have to complete the rotation to get one of the sets of equips for these characters. Golden Frieza and Gogeta, Gohan, Goten, and Trunks, Tao, STR Cell, AGL Kid Goku, Tech Buhan, Wrath Broly, Kale and Caulifla, AGL Jiren, Physical Pikkon, Tech Gohan and Piccolo, AG Ultimate Gohan, LR Ginyu Force, Riber and Rosie Kakunsa, Tien, and Cell Max. And you might recognize a lot of these characters, by the way, as being characters who are on this banner. I'm not sure which characters I will get some of these equips for. I think it would make a ton of sense to get equips for Tao. Tao is not, like, a popular character, but he kind of, like, because of me, by the way, I think maybe he's gotten a little bit of a life as a, like, kind of like a meme-ish type of character. So I do think maybe I could do an equip showcase for him. And in particular, Tao actually has a good set of equips in that he's getting stats on all three, right? Whereas like Gohan, Goten, and Trunks, bronze is good, silver is good, but that gold, in my opinion, like, fuck you. These like, damn, the stat equips to me are very interesting, right? Just like a huge monster, just gob of stats added to some of these characters, right? Maybe I could look into getting one for Wrath Broly. I think my Wrath Broly has a triple attack equip set up already because I have them structured and built specifically for Festival of Battles. But we might get some of these equips for some of these characters and do a couple showcases for them. But should you as a player be like, oh, damn, I definitely can't miss out on the equips for LR PyCon. Where's PyCon? Let me settle on PyCons. You don't need to think that, right? No. These equips are not going to do that much. I think it would be like a minuscule buff for like Tao or maybe potentially Golden Frieza and Gogeta, but like these are not. If they're gonna do this, these equips need to be even stronger for them to like kind of like do this like ticket shit attached to summonable banners. Personally, I hate it. I think they shouldn't be doing this, but I mean, it is what it is, right? They're gonna monetize everything. It is, unfortunately, how can I word this in a funny way? But I don't know. I'm in love with a stripper, and the stripper is a gacha game, right? Like, Dokkan is the game I love, but she's a stripper, right? It's a gacha game. So, like, we gotta be aware of what the gacha game is going to do, right? And I would tell y'all to avoid doing your summons, like, on this banner. Save your stones for 11th anniversary. Don't worry about these equips. They're not gonna, dramatically shift a character. The one character who really, I think, did get huge benefit from these was Daima Vegeta, with all the defense which he really needed. But I'm not really identifying any of these characters as being like, oh, damn, now with these equips, it's going to be different, right? That's not going to be the case for any of these characters. So let me know what you guys decide to do. But I do think it's pretty smart to skip this shit.